Good morning, everybody. Brooke with Mrs. Cog Hill Farm and getting things started this morning with the horses. Got to get their feed fixed, got to get it soaked. As you guys know, Jamie from Stoots to Boots told us about the forage to add to the Tribute Combat horse feed that we use. We use the Senior Sport and we let it soak because our horses are older and it helps their teeth. So I'm going to get their food fixed first off, and I can hear Tater T-Rex Smith hollering all the way from the cow pasture. That's because she thinks she needs a new bale of hay. When it gets down low, they're just spoiled. But we don't have very much more weather that we're going to need to feed hay to our cows. The grass is starting to green up. I'll show y'all. But Tater says she's getting low. So while their food soaks, I'm going to go outside and put the hay spear on the tractor and try to get that taken care of as well. And just like Matilda, Willie and Ruska get a pump of Lubricin added to the top of their food every single day. Willie and Ruska know it's time to eat. They also are patient horses and they know it's got to sit there and soak for a minute. But if y'all can see, the grass is really starting to green up. And the horse pasture, of course, had the under wire ran for the power, but it's starting to spread and the grass is indeed coming in and growing. So it won't be too much longer that we'll need to be feeding the cows their hay. First thing I got to do is get the bucket off of this tractor and get the hay spear put on while their food's soaking. You know, I've been here by myself all week. Me, the animals, my mom, and we've done well. We've done fine. I take care of most of the feeding anyway. Jason takes care of the horses, and it's not really anything different for me. Day-to-day activity-wise, it's just different not having Mary Carl and Jason here this week. Now, I think the biggest challenge has been Holly, and I kind of thought that would be the problem, but she looks at me like, we're easy. Caden came yesterday afternoon. He cleaned out the stalls and stuff, and when Caden pulled in the driveway, Holly was convinced it was Jason. There's my daddy. And then it was like she hung her head. It's just Caden. He's coming back though, girl. I don't know where she went. I think she's over playing with the big dogs this morning, but she's gonna be just fine. Well, I just thought of something. Kind of reminded me when I backed up. The last time I got a hay bale is when I ran over Catherine's 2 traps. And I do have her 2 new traps, but she says she's not in a quick need of those, but I am going to get those to her as soon as possible. All right, big boy, you ready to eat? Yeah, you a good boy. Yes, you are, just a talking. Let's get you fixed up. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Enjoy your breakfast. Now for Miss Ruska. Y'all, we got some wind this morning. It's really, really warm. And some potential for some bad weather this weekend. And y'all know as well as I do, if I were Jason, Holly would be right beside me. And that's the difference. She just does not look at me as her person. Here she comes. I'm her babysitter, but I'm not her person. Where have you been, girl? Come here. Come here. Where did you go? Huh? Come here. Holly, come here. Everybody wants to know how you're doing. How are you doing since Jason's gone? You'll tolerate me, but I'm not your number one. I'm not your ride or die. You don't. She's just being kept, but she's rather excited. Where are you going, Holly? We got to go take care of everybody. She looks like she looks to be satisfied with me right now. I don't know where she went. And y'all, this bale of hay is, hey, what are you doing? Is rather lopsided on this side, and that's because I had the bales stacked and it kind of squished down on that side. But it's a good bale of hay. We're gonna go to the barn and feed first and then lock the cows up, because you know, we learned our lesson about not locking the cows up and trying to put hay out. It just doesn't work. Does it, Holly? I took care of the loudest squealers first. That is not T-Rex Tater. That is Gus and Loretta. That's T-Rex Tater. And while I had Gus and Loretta's food soaking, I also soaked Pocket and Peaches. Let me tell y'all a little something funny about Miss Peaches. So yesterday, Caden came and he was cleaning out Pocket's stall. I saw Peaches walking around out in the pasture, and I told Caden, I said, you just shut her up in her stall or either lock her out where she can't come in if that works out best, meaning shut that gate so she couldn't come in here. Because Peaches doesn't like anybody but her folks. And Caden has not went through the initiation process, obviously, become one of her folks yet. I came in last night after Caden left, and I was feeding Pocket. And I'm in this stall here, which Pocket has done her business in here, and I got to clean it out. But Peaches thought I was Caden. She was not in this stall, I don't think, when he was cleaning out. I think she was out there, but she could see him. And y'all, you'd have thought it sounded like Gus. It sounded like Gus when he snores, the tone that she was using. Just grunting. She was mad because she thought I was Caden. I didn't say anything. I just was coming in the stall, and she couldn't see me because she was over here in her bed corner. I don't know if y'all can see it, but ooh, she was fired up. And so then I realized what was going on, and I said, Peaches. And she said, like, it's okay. You're not Caden, and I'm going to tolerate you being in here. Just not him. He's not allowed to come in. He does a good job with his cleaning, but Peaches doesn't want anybody new. Well, everybody decided to join Tater in on the need food this morning. Everybody needs food. Uh-oh, I almost made a mistake. Y'all would have heard me crying all the way from New York City if I had not cut that fence off. Good morning, everybody. And I just saw a little man sneaking him some milk. I was starting to think that Tater had weaned him, but that's not the case. You see, he's nursing her right now. He sure is. I thought that she had weaned him. I have not seen him nursing her. All right, everybody. We got a new hay bale coming, okay? We got a new hay bale on the way. So everybody can be patient. Mildred is the one that tries to challenge Matilda. You want to come down here? Come on, baby. Yeah, let's go down here. We never go to the same place. It just depends on which side Matilda wants to go to that day. But like I said, the only one that tries to challenge her for food is Mildred. And that's so surprising to me. Mildred's such a good girl. Let's go get this gate shut. Sitting here running my mouth about Mildred and Matilda, and I definitely need to be thinking about shutting the gate, because heyday won't happen otherwise. Will it, Ernest? Or Opie? The cow's lick over here on the Moo Mansion is holding steady. I think this is going to work out well. And Matilda was finished, but you can see who came over to make sure her bucket was empty. And Matilda's found her a little bit of green grass right there. I'll show y'all when I drive the hay bales, not bales, not plural, hay bale over how much green is coming into the grass. Soon after I picked this bucket up, because I don't want to leave it out. And he's steadily He's just a nursing. Oh, goodness. You know, that has to hurt. It can't be comfortable. Tater's been an excellent mama, and I just can't be one of those that separates a mama from a baby. I feel like let nature take its course. I'm not in a commercial operation where I am running a dairy farm. I'm not, there's no reason to watch a calf suffer if you don't have to. Oops, I forgot something. I need this. And I also need to let Red out. Red is still getting his extra nutrition. He gets it in the morning, and then all three are separated in the evenings. Right, Red? You're looking pretty good, buddy. And just like that, Red goes out the same way he came in and back to his herd. Good morning, Jessie and Honey. How are y'all? As soon as the goats come out of their stall, they have to come in here and they have to make sure there's no leftovers. No, there can't be any leftovers, because if it is, y'all would get them, wouldn't you? There's not going to be any, I promise you. Well, look here. Miss Peaches decided to come on out this morning after she finished her breakfast. Peaches, what you doing? What you doing? You out here being a guard pig, making sure Caden doesn't come and try to sneak in and clean out a stall or something? Huh? What about you, Bandit? What you doing this morning? Where's Rocky? There's Miss Foxy. Peaches is an active pig, I could tell y'all that. Look at her standing there smelling a Bandit. Who knows what that pig's thinking? Can y'all see the daffodils blooming on the other side of the fence? I cut grass out there. I probably need to cut in here too. It looks better from the other side, but they are really starting to put on a show. Look right here. Oh, goodness, I'm so happy. They're so pretty when you get down here. Different varieties bloom at different times. So they don't all bloom at one time, but we always have a little bit of color. That wind is something else. All right, is it cut all the way? Don't want to leave that. I know. I'm coming. I'll go ahead and open y'all's gate. Even though the far pasture gate's open, I know exactly where you're going to. You're going to go straight to that hay bale. Aren't you, Big Moody? How about you, Tater? Is that what's on your agenda too? And Little Man? Y'all all going to the hay bale. All right. Except Matilda, she says she's going to drive my tractor. Go on, Mildred. Yeah, Matilda says she's going to drive the tractor. Well, Big Moody, you're not supposed to come over here. The last thing I need is you getting out while nobody's here to help me get you back up. You're not getting on the tractor, buddy. Well, I made it out just fine. I think y'all can probably see from this view how much green is coming in the pastures. We do have some freezing temperatures coming up next week, but it is beginning to look a lot like spring. remember when we first brought Pocket home, Dr. D came over, gave her a once-over, took a look at Peaches and Pocket together, and he said, "This is the most unlikely combination at any farm ever." For the most part, pigs and ponies or pigs and horses just don't work together. And we would have never, ever done it unless we could have been supervising them around the clock, keeping them separated, and knowing that it would work out. But you could see the two of them standing there together, just enjoying each other's company. So happy it worked out. Aren't you, Peaches? Aren't you happy? I know you are, sweet girl. I don't know what you were doing. I don't think you were grazing. I think you were just enjoying having Pocket with you. Look-a here, look-a here. Y'all act like you hadn't been fed in months. I saw you when I went by with the hay bale. You acted like you ate hay, and I needed to come give you some of that. Well, it's glad to feel needed. It really is. I'm gonna make Jason feel like that when he gets back. I'm gonna run along the fence when I see him pulling up and let him know exactly how needed he and Mary Carl actually are. Y'all act like you know right where you're going. Is that so? Huh? Cheese? You in the back there? Yeah. Cheese says he's coming. All righty. Uh-oh. I had to fill up y'all's feeder yesterday, and I put the scoop over here. Boy, that wind is something. I'm sorry I made y'all wait. I sure am sorry. Here you go. Spread it out. I definitely have to get some more of these. That is something that they really, really like. The Hen House Reserve Love Bug Mealworm. And I have been told that these are actually less expensive than other brands. So y'all, check it out. Cheese, you want some mealworms? The girls were extra special yesterday. I did not collect eggs until late yesterday afternoon. I had to go to town yesterday morning and actually go to the grocery store and run a bunch of errands. So I didn't gather eggs till late. But do y'all know how many eggs I got just yesterday? 52 eggs. 52 eggs, and it was late. So I don't expect to get that many today. But the girls definitely know it's springtime. Told y'all it wasn't going to be very many, but I'm not disappointed because 52 yesterday was great. I hear you, girl. Ten eggs. And I had an extra special surprise. 2 white eggs yesterday. They were a little bit smaller than what the normal chicken egg is that I get on a daily basis, but I'm pretty certain the Anconas are starting to ramp up their laying, which makes me very happy because I've got a little white in this mix. Today I don't have any white eggs. That's okay. 2 yesterday. There'll be more to come. I started cartoning this dozen eggs yesterday, and I only had, 7. So I just left the carton where it was so I could add to it when I collected today. But I wanted to show y'all the difference in the Ancona egg that I collected yesterday and a regular chicken egg. And they're smaller chickens, hence the smaller size egg. It may be that they get larger as they age, but I have a feeling that their egg is always going to be a little bit smaller. So to have a carton with a white egg in it, which I haven't had for some time, just makes me smile. The little things. Well, look at there. Doesn't that white egg just add variety? I mean, we got just about every color. I do get a dark egg from time to time, and I'm complete. And I've done a good thing this week. I haven't purchased any chickens. I did go to a couple of feed stores that had chicks, and there wasn't anything that I desired to have. So no chicks, no new chicks here today. Not saying they won't be here tomorrow, but there are none here today. I'm being very selective. Somebody's all calmed down from their zoomies. Or are you? Oh goodness, something getting you? Anyway, yesterday afternoon, I found something on Facebook Marketplace, and it was north of here. So, it's something I've been wanting to work on for a while, a project, and these are barrels, obviously, but they're different than our feed barrels that we have here. Those are all occupied. I don't have any left over. So the project that I had in mind, I didn't want to spend a lot of money on. These were perfect. Perfect. So I've got to get them off because Holly and I've got to run to the feed store. We're getting low on feed this week. And I've got to do some measuring because the project that I have in mind is going to require some wood. I've got some wood, but I'm going to need some more. So I want to get everything done in one trip so that way when I do decide to start working on this, I will have everything I need. Who knows? It may be this afternoon. It may be tomorrow. I don't know. But I've got the biggest part of the puzzle right here that I need for my project. All right, girl, you ready to ride to the feed store? And we got to pick up some lumber too. I figured out what I needed, so we're all ready to go. We'll be back here in just a jiff. All right, Holly, here we are. Jones Feed and Seed in downtown Clinton. Gonna get us loaded up. Then we'll be on our way home. You think your daddy's here? He's not here, baby. He will be soon. Holly, I know you're thinking if you don't see your daddy here, you're giving up. Don't give up, girl. We gotta get our lumber, getting it loaded up, got our feed already, and headed back to the house. We made it back home, didn't we, girl? Yes, we did. Now we gotta get the truck unloaded, gotta get my lumber off first, and then drive over to the barn, get that feed unloaded, come back here and unload the horse feed. It's just the way it's loaded in the truck. So we're going to unload it the way it was loaded. I got the lumber unloaded and then I let the tailgate down and I realized something. I don't have to go to the barn first after all because the horse feed has just got one bag of emu feed sitting on top of it, 3 bags right there, and then the other 3 horse feed bags are behind it. So I can go ahead and back in the shop and unload the horse feed before I head over to the barn. All right, girl. I want you to get in the truck so nothing happens to you. Come on. Come on, we're going to back up. Atta girl. Telling y'all, I don't know why she picked Jason, but I just can't keep her as satisfied as Jason can. She's a full-time job. Y'all look, I've gone to town. I've gone back from town. I've put out hay. They're still together. Peaches and Pocket. Walk back here in the back to see if anybody was back here and what was going on. You can see Mildred's getting her some water. Miss Tater out there eating some of that good green grass that's coming up. Little man, Moody, and Matilda are over here hanging out by the hay bale. I know they are appreciative of that. And the wind is still here. It is really strong. You can see by the looks of Opie and Ernest T's feathers that it is, I tell you, the rain's not supposed to come today nor tomorrow, but the sky sure does look different. It really does. We got a cold front coming. I saw when I came back to town that the strawberry farm down the road has their strawberries covered up. And that is because we're going to dip down to near 20 degrees again. So next week, we'll probably have to get the calendula covered back up. I've got some blooms that I need to get off of it right now that are pretty and showing their color. And luckily, Miss Laura had some oil that she saved from last year that she infused. And we kind of work a year ahead on that. So calendula oil will be extracted for this for use for next year. I miss my people. You know, I think we all do when something changes and it's different, whether it's your family or your friend that came for a visit. Whenever something changes or is different, you always miss that routine, and I definitely miss that routine. So we'll be happy to have things back to normal. I know they had a wonderful trip, but somebody needed to stay here and take care of Miss Holly and take care of this farm, and I was happy to do so. Plus, it was a sign up for a 2-person trip. There was a time there that we didn't know if I would take her or if Jason would take her, and it just worked out best that Jason took her. So I've held things down here at the farm, and so is Holly. I told y'all Caden came yesterday afternoon and cleaned out the stalls, and one of the other things that he did was he put another coat of paint on this gate that we have over here on the side. I had put some on it, but it really needed another coat. So I don't know if he's going to get to finish this today or not. It's pretty much done on this front side. There's a few spots on the back side. And also we wanted him to paint the little single entry gate around back. And I picked up some more spray paint so he could finish that today. But I tell you, with this wind, I don't know if he's going to be able to paint today or not. But nonetheless, it'll get done. It's not that Jason and I can't do it. The young man wants to work, and if he wants to work, and we've got jobs. I hope to get started on my project that involves the barrels that I picked up, and take some guesses. What do you think I'm making? It's going to involve wood and 4 barrels. So hopefully it's a project that I can actually do myself, and if not, I'll ask for help. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. Until next time, y'all be good.